If you need a little bit of motivation, we are about to give you a vitamin booster that will have you up and ready for not only the day, but for life. We have the guys from Hillsong, or rather we had them a little bit earlier on, but we will be definitely checking that out a little bit later on. But we are talking about relationships, and it's all about, are you partying too much? Now, we do have the expert in the house that knows everything about relationships. But before we chat to Dr. Eve, let's find out what some of the people on the street are talking about. Do you party too much in your relationship?
My partner's partying habits affects my relationship badly because sometimes he doesn't come home on time, and that does put a strain on the relationship because you don't know half of the time what he's doing out there.
It affects the relationship in a bad way because you're not spending any time with this person. If you're not spending time with the person, you start to not know the person starts meeting other people, you start meeting other people, start looking for that sort of relationship or that bond that you're supposed to have with that person, you start looking for it somewhere else, and that's when the relationship goes south.
Sometimes he does things that I don't like, but I don't complain because every time we're going to party, it's like a free time. I'm giving him a chance to feel free. So yeah, sometimes I become jealous. Sometimes I do understand.
Well, we actually both met while we were in Thailand for the full moon party. So we met at a party. Without the party, we would have no relationship.
It's all about drawing that line between too much partying. And of course, we've got our expert in the house, Dr. Eve. And if you want to give us a call, if you have a partner that's currently going through that, or you're going through that with them, give us a call on 0839133728. Dr. Eve, is there something as too much partying in a relationship?
You know what I'm really enjoying about watching these boxes?
Yeah.
Is that there is an entirely different script for younger people today.
Absolutely.
In my generation, you partied together, and when you went to a party, you never separated. You were joined at the hip. That was the relationship model that was intact. You had to be completely dependent on each other. Now, this separation of going to parties separately, as well as when you go to a party, the expectations are really different. I like that, even though it brings its own very significant conundrums around how much time do we spend with each other, when do we get jealous, when are we allowed to feel jealous, when are we allowed to party alone in separate places, what are our boundaries around that, how much can we be drinking, drugging, flirting, dancing with other people. I always get a real kick out of the fact that single women, well, women in relationships go out for their girls' parties, and that means that they go to clubs as well. And it's transparent, there's nothing secretive about it.
Exactly.
I like the independence of it, but as I said, it does bring along a lot of different conundrums that my generation never ever had to face.
It's interesting because there's so many dynamics that now come into play when you're out by yourself, when you're out with a partner. Do you guys stick together? Does each one go on his own mission? But it can become something that can become unhealthy for a relationship. And I think that that's what we're focusing on today. So if you do have a question or comment for Dr. Eve on relationships, on too much partying or taking it overboard, you think your partner's doing that, give us a call on 0839133728. Of course, there is another dynamic when we bring alcohol and drug usage. That can really change someone's personality as well, right?
Yeah. So alcohol and drugs goes together with sex and partying. There's that significant association that if you're going to party, that means it gives you an excuse to really get wasted, and then it gives you an excuse to have unprotected or risky sex as well. So when people go out to party, I'm always like, okay, so were there condoms used? What were the rules, or what were the agreements that you had with your partner around the sexual activity that went on? And how much flirting are you doing when you're a woman who's in a relationship but going out with your girlfriends to be partying? So alcohol and drugs absolutely mess up with your rational thinking and lead to risky behavior. One of the things we know for sure is that you're going to be less likely to use a condom, for example. And then also, how much kiss and tell should you be doing? If you're going with girlfriends to a party and you are, what's flirting? And can you just kiss and just have fun? And should you go back and tell that to your partner? And is this something that you talk about together? I am very much in favor, as everybody knows, that you want to have boundaries, you want to have communication. I'm saying again, I love that people can party separately. I mean, I hope that they party together as well, because that's a very different experience. But that there are boundaries, that you have your own personal boundary, Leanne. It's not your partner saying, hey, Leanne, you can't do this. It's you yourself deciding, what is my boundary? How far am
Yeah.
I going to go?
Absolutely. Okay, and then of course you have the thing of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yes.
We'll be talking more about relationships as soon as we come back from the break. If you have a question, if it's become a problem in your life, this partying thing, give us a call on 083 913 3728. Dr. Eve is standing by to take your calls.